Hi guys!
Hello!
Welcome to our channel, Happy Hour, and we are here to do a review of The Real Housewives of Durban Season 2.
Okay guys, so season 3 will be back on the 1st of February. And it's going to be on Showmax. It's no next Sabbath on a Friday, that's going to be now Wednesdays. So we'll do a real recap for you, and then we'll introduce the new ladies, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, so guys, let's start with episode 1 of season 2. I know it was a long time ago, but this is where Unonku started with her Spring Has Sprung party. And you guys remember why she did that, right? Because the reunion of the previous season, which was season 1, she made a real big mess with Ayanda, of course, and she wanted the girls to just forget about it.
Wow. Okay, guys, according to plan, Spring has sprung. As you know, there was little things thrown around.
Yeah, so the girls misunderstood Umaganangu, and they thought that she was calling them stupid, but she was actually saying that she's so beautiful and they could not be as beautiful as her. But she did this and they just thought, and then it became a thing where they just didn't like her. It didn't
throughout the whole season.
Yeah, and that was Annie and Ulondi. By the way, before we even get any further with this, right? We remember that Jojo was a new girl.
Yes.
Jojo was new to the franchise that season 2, and so was Ulondi. Ulondi was introduced as Annie's friend, which was funny because then there was controversy about her not being invited to the wedding.
I think a friendship at the beginning it wasn't as glued and as it should have been.
Yeah, I think
there was a lot of don't say, because there's an easy door that you knew, that London knew and Annie knew, but they didn't want to discuss it. So kind of like my friend from the past kind of thing, and now you're here and let's just be classy and elegant. And
Annie definitely didn't want anybody talking about why she didn't invite anyone from the cast from the previous season to her wedding. But yeah, there was COVID, that was her explanation. But I just think she invited people that she thought would be influential from her husband's side.
Yeah.
So she obviously doesn't know a lot of people that are influential, no offense to my knowledge. Her husband is more the one that's connected. And so you found people like David Gawu at her wedding. So obviously with a restriction of 100 people, are you going to invite people that do business with your husband, or a friend from Groove and Instagram?
Well, I think I'll go for the first one.
Exactly, right? So so she didn't invite anyone. She didn't even invite Solusha. Yeah, so KG left, so that was another cast change, and then there was another cast change. Ayanda left. Not surprising
but
after how she was treated.
Things didn't go well for her in that second season. So now I think if I was Ayanda as well, for my own being and businesses and everything else, it was best for her to leave the show.
Yeah, and for some strange reason, her name kept being dragged into season 2, even though she had left, which was very, very weird. But anyway, that was episode 1, which Spring and Sprung, and it was a nice event until things went a little bit haywire. We saw Jojo for the first time. Surusha went and picked her up, and so from that, then Jojo decided she's going to extend an invitation to the girls with episode 2 where they did her cake event, her icing event, and it was a beautiful event, but of course the girls just had to mess it up with some drama.
I liked the cake
such a good idea.
Everybody was feeling happy, and but then what be the show without drama?
And then we got to see Jojo sort of being uncomfortable with inviting people to her home. That just started creating drama. But other than the drama of Annie Nonku talking about Nonku's mom, which I maintain Nonku's mom should not have been on the show.
Yes.
And I hope that Nonku does not bring her mother onto the show.
No, she shouldn't. Because I think Ile be disrespected. We've spoken about it in a few episodes. And it's just drama.
You did it in season 1. It didn't work. Your mother was the center of controversy. You did it in season 2. It didn't work. Your mother again was involved in controversy from the first episode. Leave it. If you guys want to have your own show, kudos. But just leave her out of it. Anyway, then at the end of that event,
we saw the invite from Toby Lady.
which led us swiftly into episode 3, the black tie event, where it was just a mess. It was a mess because, first of all, the host was late. Everybody, the secrecy behind it, who's coming, Toby, and then the mess with the conversation at the table.
I think, you know what, it's, if she did something small and just said, come over ladies, let's have a champagne brunch or whatever, chill us, you know, it wouldn't have had this whole thing of siglindile manje, siswengile, sihleli ematafuleni and waiting for you.
I think I never liked Utobile on the show. I love watching her on Uthando's Table,
Yes,
which is her show with her sister wives and her. Is it called Sister Wives?
No, it's not called
Sister Wives. I don't know. Sister Wives and her husband. She is the star of that show. She made the mistake of thinking she would be the star of the show, and it just didn't work. I love it. I'm even watching now. I love how she's getting along with Matsele,
Yes,
and how they have that relationship. I love her in that show. I just still maintain, and it's a good thing she did not come back. I still maintain that the show just wasn't for her.
No, I think
she contributed nothing after her event where she rubbed people up the wrong way with black. She tried to be friends with Sarusha because she realized that Sarusha was the person with money. And again, for me, Sarusha is boring. She adds nothing other than the fact that people tiptoe around her because they know her husband has influence in Durban. I also strongly believe that Sarusha shouldn't be on the show, but we'll get to the girls or the casting of the new season in a minute. I just thought that for me, Utobile, it was, I mean, she went to the Halloween party, she left early. That was the first time where she was invited to something that she wasn't hosting.
She never said bye, she just left because she was feeling cold.
And I still maintain the girls were right. Nobody knows anything about her other than what we know from her other show. And for me, that just wasn't good enough.
It wasn't working. But again, we also see on that episode 3 on the war games, which I feel like Annie invited them just to start drama. It was unnecessary. That conversation by the car of trying to apologize but not apologizing, which created even more drama with them throughout the next episodes.
Yeah, so I think she was just trying to make sure that they were still good because of what was going to happen later, and she was just trying to create a connection, but it just didn't work with Nungu and Annie. And anytime that they were on the same side, it was because they were spiting somebody else, but they're not genuine friends. It didn't work out. Then the next episode, we see them spend all of this time talking about the dinner. And what Nungu also said at the dinner, it's not just Utobile who was offensive and tried to push polygamy on everyone that was there. It was also Nungu basically projecting her insecurities about relationships with men
onto
everyone else. That black men cheat and white men buy, which was very offensive, you know, to sit there, especially when there's only one white couple at the table. What are you trying to say?
I think Nungu is where she showed everybody that yes, she is insecure in relationships, and her real genuine feelings came out, which I think at the end of the day it's all about the fact that she's been hurt, which is okay, people can relate, but the way that she said it wasn't the best way for the conversation to be heard or to be said. She could have said it in a different setting, but in that setting or those words, it was offensive.
It was very offensive, you know. If somebody said that while I was sitting at a table with my man, I'd be very upset as well. So she should have understood where people were coming from. She apologized, but then later retracted the apology and said, I said what I said.
And I stick by it.
I said it with my chest, girl. So Unonku is a very, very funny character. Even worse again in the next episode, episode 5, where they had the Halloween party, which from a host's perspective, it was a very nice party.
It was very nice.
Sarusha throws nice parties. She definitely does. I think that's the only good thing she does.
But I think KG was
messy. Bringing KG was messy, and also KG did not deserve to be there. She cowered out and didn't come to the reunion of her season because she was a mean girl to everybody else. So she does not get to come on and be at a cameo role while everybody was
again.
Not expecting her.
Was not the big girl of the party. She did not respect the theme.
I feel like they expect other people to respect their events, but they don't respect other people's events,
which is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was at the end of the day, the ladies were dressed nice. Obviously, Ulondi, my favorite
She
outfit
looked
of the night.
nice.
But
Yes.
it
It was a very
loved
nice.
it, loved it,
Until the truth or dare game.
You know what, ladies? I think this season,
Why you getting a game?
I swear you're getting a game.
Swag.
So you're getting a game because I think, like Ula Kong was saying on the other episodes, these games are played because you want to know. You just want to know. It's got nothing to do with the game. You just want to invest in the it causes throughout the whole damn season.
Yes, and I think because of the way that Unonku behaved at that event, where she was admitting that she was a groupie to Fiso and everything, people then started being concerned about her drinking.
Yeah.
Personally, I felt like they were not being genuine. I think they were just trying to create drama. And nobody did it because they cared about her well-being.
No.
People did it because they were like, okay, where can we stir up drama here? Which I was so happy that Jojo at the end of it was just like, guys, let's stop this.
Apologize.
You know, let's apologize. Let's stop this because it's not like she's the only one that drinks.
But for me, the apology was a bit on the sour side. I felt like if you called me into a conversation and you're like, listen, friend, I think we overstepped or we overspoke or whatever, then don't just go and be like, friend, when the other person is already there, I think we should apologize. Because let's speak about it first, like you spoke about it with me behind that person's back or alone, you know, and then speak to me and say, I think we should apologize. But don't put me on the table where I don't feel that I want to apologize. And because Ulonda didn't feel like she had an apology.
And it would have been a coerced apology. She wouldn't have meant it. It didn't mean anything until she actually genuinely apologized at Sun City. And we understood why she was so concerned about the drinking thing because of the past with her sister and all of that. Another thing that for me was very unnerving was Utobile had a mandate or an agenda when she got to the show. She thought that she was going to cozy up with Sarusha and therefore cozy up with the person that she thought was the most influential
person on the show.
Like that thirsty moment that her and Mselebu had with already, Sarusha at their house. Mselebu even drinking when he doesn't drink, just because a rich man, a billionaire, is saying, Wuti, he drinks wine, so now you're gonna drink it. For me, that was weak. That was such a simp moment for both of them.
I think in Alapu Tobile again, she trapped herself into not being the favorite in the show. She could have just, her man could have just stood his ground and been like, Musalek is a businessman of his own.
Yes.
He's rich in his own right. He could have just been like, no, Nyabong,
I don't drink.
Like, I don't drink. And
there's so many people
a
who
glass
don't.
of juice or whatever.
Yes.
But I feel like in Lapo again, she trapped her husband into, not necessarily trapped her husband, but they can just be bent over.
I feel like
favors.
Umsele was thirsty. That's why he was happy for Tobile to go out to the show, because he knew Guti already was there. You remember Usarusha Eti, they're pushing for dinner. They pushed for it because they were being groupies. I believe that Tobile is a groupie. Tobile is a groupie. She's one of those people that are a social climber. She wants to get close to the people that she thinks will do something for her. Hence, she was then invited to the jet because she was cozying up to.
Don't even speak about the jet.
Then the Nambisi trip comes along, and then they have different accommodations, and they also have a different way of getting to. For me, one of the issues that I think weren't touched on enough, it was touched on in the reunion, but it wasn't made clear because people were being defensive, is Uguti. The girls that were in relationships segregated the girls that were not.
Or not.
And it's not a secret to Uguti, if we have a dual income, we are better off than,
than one that has one.
Thank you. So for me, it didn't make sense for them to be offended. It's like when Jojo was offended when people asked, is she happy that she married an old man? But he's older than you, and you're benefiting from it.
But you know what, girl? You married the old man, you knew he was old, stand by it, and move on. Boom. Like, even Ula Kongo, she was engaged to an older man. So I think it's a matter of preference. It's not a matter of, you were married to an old man. It's a matter of preference, what you want to do, because people could have simply analyzed our relationship and been like, he went from being a dancer to his PA and then now his wife. So there was a lot of sides and a lot of relationships that people could have gone in to discuss things. It told me people could have been like, oh, you decided to marry your friend's husband because he's rich.
Exactly. Tabile was also a PA.
That's how she got into marrying Umsalek, because she was friends with his late wife.
Yeah, and then but that links into the card game that they played, the Confessions, and then obviously Jojo and Umabusi ended up having that drama. The drama that we saw at the very last episode of that season was stemmed from the fact that she was so offended that somebody called her husband which he is.
And again, it's a game.
It's a game where people are asking all of these things that they want to ask in secret. Your man is old, girl. It's like, it's a fact. It's and you shouldn't be offended by it at all.
Because
by the way, I want to reveal to Jojo blocked both of us on our personal accounts and as well as our page, because she didn't like how honest we were. And I mean, you guys can go back to our Instagram page @_happyhour_SA, where we actually she commented and we put forward a comment to say, unfortunately, we see what production shows us, and we don't think she's a horrible person. In fact, we think all of the ladies are very brave for sharing their lives. But at the same time, you can't be offended when people have an opinion when you put yourself out there. That is why I'm also glad that Lassie is not on the show.
Because Lassie, she had I love Lassie. Let me just say that. I love Lassie. I love the things she stands for. I love the fact that she doesn't get pushed around into saying or coerced into saying what people feel like she should be saying. But on the other hand, I feel like you're on the show, which is to spot your life, and then you should have made something clear which would have avoided Indabaka Petal.
I think
would have avoided Indabaka, where do you live? If she was honest from the beginning and saying, you know what, guys, unfortunately, I was engaged to an ex-president.
Yes.
And isn't there like security reasons? I can't share where I live. Boom.
That's it. But the problem with Lassie is she lied.
Well,
under the guise of being private, she lied. If you're being private, you don't have to lie. I don't have to lie. I can just say, you know what, Mamfund, I'm uncomfortable talking about this on camera. These are the reasons. Or, you know what, this guy
I feel like she just threw something
show
in the air and let everybody else pick what they wanted to pick. Not necessarily lie.
But everybody was interested about her relationship status from day one, ever since she started on the show. She did have a vulnerable moment with Sarusha. I think in episode 2 or 3, where she was explaining to Sarusha what happened. She came to Sarusha's house and she felt a trust with Sarusha. So she told Sarusha, you know what, I didn't think that my relationship would have ended this way. You know, I found love, but unfortunately, because of the person that the father of my child is and how things happened, I ended up in this situation.
Yes.
She did open up. She was open with Sarusha because she felt safe. But I also feel like Sarusha was being two-faced. She didn't like Leslie from the moment that Leslie excluded them from her cultural events because of the language barrier. I think she just decided then and there, I don't like Lassie, and I'm just, because she tries to be diplomatic about everything, she didn't outright say. Wait, I have a theory.
Yeah.
Sarusha and Annie work together as good cop, bad cop. Sarusha's the good cop, but she goes along with everything Annie says because she actually agrees with Annie, and Annie's the bad cop, who is the person who will say whatever she thinks under the guise of, I'm telling the truth, but she's actually being hurtful and harmful.
No, I think Annie, she's the person who wants to dish it out, but she can't handle it.
Yeah,
because throughout the show she was mean, she was damn right rude, she investigated people's lives, acting like her life was perfect.
I don't think she would want people to investigate her life.
And when people brought out little snippets like, I know your man from the streets, which was said to Ulondi, if the same thing was said to her about her man, because when relationships were brought up and cheating was brought up, she was very defensive and hurt. But here now she's very quick to go
that horrible laugh. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to watch another season of that horrible laugh.
I'm hoping one of the new ladies is strong enough to be like, girl, just stop.
So to wrap it up quickly, at some point, to wrap up the season quickly, at some point they go to Sun City, which is revealed at Latongo's Zulu dance event, with Jojo bought security for her Rolex and all of that drama. But anyway, so they reveal that they're going to Sun City. As they go to Sun City, you can see that Annie has a bone to pick with Lassie. She picks at this thing of petal and wanting to know what's happening in Lassie's life. that ends up in obviously the girls not trusting Lassie, which I don't blame them because she did lie.
Yeah.
I still maintain that. But yes, you want privacy, then a reality show's not for you. And then the situation becomes that things escalate. So in the last episode, we see Jojo, Mabuse, Jojo poured intentionally
onto Umabusi, which it brings me back to the comment I made at season 2 in one of our episodes where I said Jojo is childish.
She's very childish.
She wants to stomp around. She expects everybody to treat her like they're walking on glass, which is it's not possible. They're not genuine friends. Bazana we show abanya bazani at all. Exactly. They don't spend any time together. So it just goes back to being an adult. Be considerate of other people's feelings. Don't say things that you want to be said to you. But it's a show.
I find Jojo so funny. If you're going to be on a reality show, you need to have thicker skin than that. You do. Honestly cannot be blocking people who review the show because you don't like what they said. That is just... You can block us, fine, whatever. We're still going to do the reviews. People are still going to watch it. And people will still have their opinions about you. And they're going to have opinions about our reviews. And that's fine. We do say that these are our views and our opinions. Yes. And it doesn't have a reflection on what anybody else thinks. We are just like everybody else watching. And I mean, Real Housewives is a big franchise. So if you didn't want people watching you, you definitely wouldn't be on this show. So, Nakoda, please tell me about the new lady. I'm looking forward to the new season. Okay,
so from research, Maria.
Okay.
She is Maria something. I'm not sure of her surname.
It's a bit tough.
It's a bit tough to pronounce. But Maria seems to have a connection with Jojo. Okay. So kulomngani oktize. I don't know how far it goes. We'll see, because the relationship it was a relationship Amy.
Yeah.
No loan. I on the show, but she seems to be friends with Jojo, so we'll see how that goes. There is not really much about her. She has a show on Glam TV or something, which is a Bollywood channel. So I don't know much about it, so we'll see. She is studying to be a psychologist, or in between psychology studies, so we'll see how that goes. In terms of businesses and everything, I don't know what she has. She says there on her Instagram she's a TV producer. I don't know which channel she has produced, or what program she has produced, but TV present. So bona kuti khamba kanjani lapho. And then the second girl is Uslindile. Uslindile Wendy. I'm not sure of her surname.
Didn't Usli show up on one of these other reality shows where she was a chef and she was cooking for someone? I don't know whether it was Mercy and Madame's show or whether it was Real Houses of Joburg. But I remember seeing her.
Please let us know, guys, if you've seen her somewhere. Yeah. But from what I've seen from her page and some snippets, she has a company with decorator.
Okay.
Something consulting. So she does decor from what I've seen. And then I saw something about her that she's posted that she is Ukoko or some Josie traditional something. I don't know if she is practicing, but she was doing it for herself. But I saw something like that on her page. But again, not much about business side or who she is or she was married to, or if she is married, or if she's divorced, or whatever case might be.
Then there's the other girl who looks like she's got a lot of surgical stuff happening on her face.
Sababana,
guys, we'll see. I love the Durban franchise because it actually is the most entertaining, if we're being honest. All the hype that Lagos got did not deserve, because Lagos was boring as hell. I don't know what's happening at Gqeberha, guys. Please, we're not going to be reviewing Gqeberha. Let me just be honest with you now. We're not going to do Gqeberha. But I'm disappointed in whoever is casting for Durban, because there are so many interesting Durban girls that we would love to see on the show. People where we don't need to guess who is this and what do they do. And I think that's the mistake that people are making. Like Jojo.
Nonku, from what I've seen. She's Nonku's friend.
Let me just, for me, let's go down the list. There's Sarusha. Everybody likes her because she has money and her husband has influence. Fine, I get it. But she's boring and she brings nothing to the table. But let's leave her aside.
Yep.
Then there is
Nonku.
Nonku is a reality star
Queen.
She knows how to bring it.
Yes,
she has a mess. She has a resolution after the mess. She does a whole lot of stuff.
Yes.
I don't like Annie personally as a person from what I've seen, but she's also one of those people that deserve to be on a reality show. Londi. Girl. So when the wheel turns, she was the one who was being so mean to girls, talking about aren't we rich housewives? Look at you now. You couldn't even come back on the show because you would not be able to take all the criticism that people had. I feel for her. Nobody wants a relationship to end, especially in that way while you're carrying your second child. But I also feel like this is a lesson to be very careful about how you treat people, because you turned on Ulasi just because people were telling you to, and you were and you went on the side of the wives because there was a division. There were the wives, and then there were people that were not married. By the way, so she's gone. Tobile, thank you for exiting stage left. This was
you were overexposed.
This was not for you. You're doing great in your other shows.
I love you on your other shows.
Leslie, thank you for going, because quite frankly, reality TV is just not for you.
But I love you, girl.
But yeah, do you in your spaces. Your body looks amazing. You're doing great. Who else is there?
Masekuba, okay. Utubile hambile Masekuba. Guys, ngicela sikhulume manje ngombali celiwe. Asiyeke ukumeqa umbali. Umbali umusha. Umbali ngiyazi-ke ukuthi akadumanga.
I don't know her.
Umbali, she acted in a few shows. I think episodes ago SABC or something. But Umbali, yes, okay, personally, angimboni fit the show. I don't see how she fits into the show. I don't see how she fits as a housewife. I just don't see the side of her. Umbali right now, she has a business here in Bali. But I just don't see how she is fitting. She hasn't been on feeds on Instagram. Even the page like Instagram and the show.
The casting, I said Durban is disappointing, guys. There's Tello. There's so many people in Durban. But Tello's Instagram has been deleted or deactivated for now. She's going through a lot of drama. But yeah, guys, there's so many. I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen. I don't doubt that the Durban girls are gonna bring it and deliver a good season. Show. But yeah, bringing all of these unknowns onto the show is just weird to me. But anyway, maybe other people just don't want to take on the show because of the exposure.
But again, I'm hoping they'll bring on drama, fun times.
I can't wait to kiki about the new season on our channel, guys. Yes, we have an Instagram page, which is @_happyhour_SA, but we also have a YouTube channel now, which is Happy Hour. Please go and check us out. We will try by all means to make sure that we do our reviews on Thursdays. The very next day we will try and post the reviews, so definitely watch the show
and comment
and subscribe, guys. Please subscribe, touch that dial, do the notifications. We are bringing our views on about the review, about the seasons, the episodes, the shows, the girls, and we're just looking forward to a great season. Let's see, hopefully this season is as good as the last.
We get to know us better. We get to know how we like commenting.
Thank you, guys.
And obviously, as you see, we have drinks on our table.
Yes.
From the people that were following us on the previous season, we know we always start with a click with a nice drink.
And maybe I can show you guys how to make my lovely whiskey sour, because I'm a whiskey girl.
We'll definitely be doing our favorite drinks throughout the show as well. So you can get to know us better and get to know what we like. We'll introduce some wines that we like that are local and some not throughout the show that we obviously will be displaying for you guys.
This is just a lovely kiki moment with your girls or your guys, whoever's watching the show. See if you agree with us. If you disagree with us, comment, let us know. If you agree, comment, let us know. Hit the notification button so you know when we upload an episode or a review episode. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next week
on the other side.
I hope it helped you guys to recap. It has been a while since the girls were left So hopefully we helped you guys to recap. We love doing this, and we look forward to seeing you guys or hearing from you guys through your comments every week.
On that note,
cheers guys.